I love to grill. I'm a Florida boy, and when I come home from work in the hot kitchen, I really just want to go and enjoy myself and relax and have some free time. And the grill is my getaway. And the good thing is, and I found this out while I was losing 265 pounds on low carb, almost anything you can put on the grill is low carb. Proteins, vegetables, and I'm going to show you how to make a low carb bourbon barbecue pork ribs. And it doesn't have to be about sugar, and you're about to find that out. And then we're going to make a cilantro chicken breast, very easy. And then we're going to come and do our vegetables, balsamic grilled vegetables. Everything on the grill can be low carb. And we're going to come back in and do Waldorf coleslaw. And for dessert, we're going to make grilled berries a la mode. Yes, a la mode. You can have ice cream on low carb. You just have to alter a few things and make it the way we're going to show you. So with that, let's get started low carb cooking. First, we're going to start by making the bourbon barbecue sauce. You can use any flavorings. You could actually omit the bourbon. And it's very simple. We start with tomato sauce. You want to buy a tomato sauce that has no sugar added. And the same rule applies to the tomato paste. So we got that right in there. From here, I'm going to add a little bit of bourbon. Now, you can add any kind of flavoring. Bourbon happens to be 0 carb, and it gives it a nice bite. It's always a couple of dashes of this and that, but when we're done, we're going to build it. It's going to be a great sauce, and a no-cook sauce at that. Just a couple dashes of Worcestershire, a little bit of hot sauce, and this is kind of important. It's liquid smoke. A couple tablespoons of liquid smoke. This is going to give it that great smoky flavor. It's a little bit of a cheat because we're not smoking the ribs. And next, another little bite besides the hot sauce is white vinegar. And that causes a little heat to come out of it. A little granulated garlic and a little bit of onion powder. And that'll go with our fresh onion. Okay, I'm just going to give this another stir as we build it. And I'm going to go ahead and put in some sugar substitute. There we go. Again, I'm using Splenda brand because we're going to be cooking with this, and that is the brand that can withstand the high temperatures of cooking. And this is an optional ingredient that I'm putting in here in case you can't find it, and that is brown sugar substitute. That's going to be in place of the molasses you normally find in a regular barbecue sauce, and all that's left is a couple fresh ingredients. I like to put in a little bit of minced fresh garlic and a little bit of fresh onion. Don't need much because fresh onions also have natural sugars, and always use the natural sugar ingredients in moderation. Okay, and then I'm just going to put in a little bit of kosher salt and some fresh ground black pepper. And we've got our no-cook bourbon barbecue sauce ready. Now all we need are the ribs. Now these are pork ribs. It's always a good idea to season the ribs before you put the sauce and kind of rub it in. So, and season them liberally too. Don't go easy on it. Look at the salt. We're going to actually salt both sides. Like this. Okay. And pepper. Get it good. All right. Just kind of rub that in. Now we're ready for the sauce. So this is about 2 grams net carbs per serving for the 32 servings. And all I'm going to do, it doesn't really matter how you put it in here, is put about a cup of sauce. And I'm going to put 2 cups of water so that we can cook the ribs in a Dutch oven type environment with its own flavorings. This water is going to help steam that meat and make it tender. And we're going to kind of slow cook them, covered with aluminum foil. This is going to keep all that moisture in there and help that steam cook them. Okay, so into the 290-degree oven. They take about 2 hours until the meat is almost falling off the bone. So So we got that in there, and while that's cooking, we're going to make a nice Waldorf coleslaw. We'll start with some white cabbage. We're going to use 2 parts white cabbage to 1 part red. And you know, cabbage actually has vitamin C. And I'm going to start shredding it up very finely. That's looking good. And next, a little bit of the red. Not only does this add color, but it's healthy eating. There we go. Just a few ingredients, and we're going to have Waldorf coleslaw. That's real mayonnaise or heavy mayonnaise, never the light stuff. They most likely add sugar to that. And some sour cream, one of our favorite low-carb staples. Sugar substitute. Just a few dashes of red wine vinegar. A little fresh nutmeg. You know, this is what really gives that flavor to a Waldorf salad. Now we have walnuts. We're going to add salt and pepper and mix real good. Okay, so now we have here about 10 servings at 3 grams net carbs. And as soon as I'm done mixing this, I'm going to just pop it in the fridge and let it sit for about 2 hours chilling. All right, our ribs are cooking good. And before we move on, I've got an email from Ada of Marshall, Virginia. I'd like to read to you. Dear George, I've struggled with my weight all my adult life. When I began low carbing, my beginning weight was 238 pounds. Today it is down to 191. Way to go, Ada. A few questions. I eat out a lot, and there are hidden carbs such as in grilled chicken breast. How can I better determine the carb counts when I eat in restaurants? Well, you're right. There are hidden carbs, but you can just simply ask and you can be aware. One of the things you're looking for is to make sure that the chicken breast isn't breaded, and you can simply ask your waiter that. Another would be to ask him if it's been marinated and what is it marinated in. And finally, is there a sauce involved and does it have sugar? These questions will give you a better understanding of whether or not that chicken breast is low carb.